Hey, welcome to Synth Fundamentals. Today I'm going over the process of creating formant vocal patches. So here I have the quantum, and I have a list of vowels and their formants. So to start, let's reset. Now we have sine waves. Let's set this to a sawtooth, and then set up a second oscillator with noise. And now in the effects, we can add a parametric EQ. To start, I like to add a low shelf and a high shelf. And then we'll set mid 1 and mid 2 to be the formants. So let's start by quickly going over the parameters. We have frequency, Q, and gain. The gain will tell us how much that frequency is boosted. We can move around the frequency. And then Q controls the width of the gain increase. So if we raise the Q, it becomes narrower and more of a sharp peak. If we lower the Q, it becomes wider and smoother. For the most part, we'll be looking for sharper peaks with the frequency set at the location of the formant. So let's start with a sort of ah sound. Here our first formant is located at 850 hertz, and our second formant is at 1610. Then let's lower our high shelf and raise our low shelf. Let's set this to a mono patch and add some portamento. Raise the attack a little bit and raise the release a little bit. We can lower the amount of noise. If we have no noise, it doesn't sound as vocal. If we raise the noise, it sounds more vocal up to a point where it just kind of sounds windy. So now let's move to an aw sound. Here the formants are at 750 and 940. So here, if you'll notice, our frequencies are kind of close together, so they're blending. It seems like one resonant peak instead of two. We can fix this by raising the Q and narrowing those peaks. So let's move on to a more extreme one. Here's an E sound with formants located at 240 and 2400. First, we'll need to lower our low shelf, set the first formant at 240 and the second at 2400. We're coming into conflict with our high shelf, so we can raise that. Let's lower the Q on these since they're further apart. They're not conflicting. Sounds like we have a little too much noise. Sometimes you need to mess with the gain and the Q to try to get it to sound a little closer to the actual vowel sound. So here's what it sounds like with no EQ. Just noise and a saw. Then we activate the EQ. Now let's try a different variant of the E sound. This is more of an A. Our formants are at 390 and 2300. That one actually sounds pretty good without having to do much tweaking. So it seems like pink noise actually gets a better result than white noise. So just to compare, here's white noise. Here's pink noise. So let's do one more. Here's an O sound with formants at 360 and 640. So here it is without the EQ, and then with the EQ. Now let's see if we can get a very nice vocal lead out of this. So let's add a chorus, a very light chorus. And then add reverb. And then let's raise the glide rate, so it takes a little longer to go between notes. I have this set to legato, so if we play distinct notes, there's not glide. But if we play two notes connected, there's glide. Then let's take an LFO to add vibrato, but we'll have that controlled by aftertouch. So now here's our vocal patch. Anyway, with that, you're ready to create some vocal patches. This has been Synth Fundamentals. I'm That Beat. Thanks for watching.